Justin Rodriguez, Steve Kuclo, and Samson Dauda in a three-way pitcher comparison. Why am I doing this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. These guys, respectively, were 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the Arnold Classics just this past weekend. Steve with the 3rd place and Samson 4th, Justin with the 5th place. Very close between these guys. At one point in the event, I thought maybe Justin Rodriguez was going to get 3rd, but after the finals, Steve really came on strong. But anyway, another reason, more important reason, in my opinion, all of these three guys are headed into the Boston Pro. Come on. I don't know why I do the Arnold voice, but why not? It is the Boston Pro. I'm sure Arnold says Boston like Boston. But anyway, it's a very close competition, like I said, but we will be taking a look at the pre-show and the finals as well, because Justin Rodriguez, I have to say, he might even be winning this front double bicep. He has maybe the widest waist, but look at the muscle separation on the guy, and look at the guns. Steve's good, very improved in the midsection. I love Samson Dauda's physique in this. He could be winning as well. I'm sure glad we have, boom, the next day, the finals. And that's the thing. It's bodybuilding. You have to be good at the end, too, and you'll notice Rodriguez, I think he came on a little bit stronger in the pre-show, with all due respect. Hey, can't be dissing these guys. But anyway, Steve Kuclo, he is a battler. He came in strong, but the thing about it is, he might be falling last in line in the arm development. Not a very good pitcher at all of Samson Dauda. There was other ones, but he wasn't standing next to these guys in the finals, and it's just the bad timing. I actually think he might even be the best in this shot overall. Him or Steve, and maybe 3rd place for Justin Rodriguez here in the first shot. Go to the next pose. This competition far from over. My opinion, it's just my opinion now. Subjective sport, of course. Samson Dauda is the clear winner in this one. Well, I suppose it's not that clear, but he is the most aesthetically pleasing, and he has the muscle where it counts. Awesome conditioning as well. Steve Kuclo, if you're going to put Samson first or vice versa, it's obvious the other guy's second, because Justin Rodriguez, not the best pose at all for him. And keep in mind, guys, this picture here of Justin is from the finals. He was not hitting it in the pre-show, so you just assume that he was more ripped, more peeled for the pre-show. And boom, superset man. Boom, copyright laws. Boom, bring on the finals. Oh, did you guys hear? Next Stringland Power gave Superset Man a shout-out. He mentioned his name. He basically stole all his pictures, used all his pictures, made money off them, and mentioned his name. Didn't link him or anything. I thought that was strange, Use your community section, Next Stringland Power. But anyway, guys, Didn't even ask him. Just took the pictures, didn't even ask him. Could have asked him. I think it's the same ruling here in the finals. I think Samson, you're clear winner. Steve, he's definitely good enough for 2nd place in the front lat spread. Side chest development. And I think this is maybe Kuclo area. Kuclo zone, the side. Probably. Now, Samson Dauda has improved a lot in this shot. He stands very tall in this. You'll notice his far leg. Straightened. Justin, he's thick. He lacks that muscle separation in the quad from the side. Very interesting. Very difficult to defeat the other two dudes, though. Pec-wise, upper body, I do like Justin, for sure. But I mean, Samson and Steve, going to be very difficult to defeat. Have a look at the finals here. Ooh, Samson. Certain shots, Samson, he brought it for the finals. Justin, like I said earlier, just doesn't have the muscle separation in the quad. Lower body. And this is a bad angle for Steve, keep in mind, but I think he is maybe winning in the upper body as well. So Steve, go Steve, gets his first win, in my estimation, in this comparison. Go to the next side shot, and poor Justin, not faring very well at all, Mooney, in these side shots and in the front shots against these two battlers. Keep in mind, guys, lots of poses left to go. I mean, Justin's thick, and here in the pre-show, The conditioning was pretty good, but the other two guys, look at their upper bodies. Awesome. Steve with more impact in the tricep itself, but Samson winning in the wheels. Go to the finals. Same thing here, guys. Poor Justin, it's going to be difficult to defeat Samson or Steve in the side tricep. Look at the tricep meat of Samson here in the finals. Keep in mind, winning in the quad as well. The physique, though, look at Steve. And in the tricep, the development of it, I don't know. Here, though, Samson looks pretty darn good. So very close in the side tricep. Maybe an edge to Samson. Look at the wheels. Look at the wheels. Steve's good, though. Wow, what a matchup. The judges are going to have their hands full at the Boston Pro. Let's have a look at the backs. And thus far, Rodriguez losing. Let's just face it. With all due respect, he's been losing thus far. But this may be his chance to gain some ground. In my estimation, he's probably winning this rear lat spread. I mean, the most straw to glutes belong to Steve. But he is a little, let's face it, weak in the back. He doesn't have the muscle separation of the other two. Look at all three backs. He's the clear, I don't want to call him a loser. I mean, Steve Kuclo, he's an awesome bodybuilder, let's face it. But he is losing in the back. He has the most straw to glutes, though. Now, Samson, maybe not the best in that area, but look at the hamstrings. He'd be the winner in that aspect. Pretty decent back development as well. Go to the finals here. And I just don't know. I love Steve, a lot of his shots, but when he turns around, his back, at least in the lat spread, just not the most impressive pose. And like I mentioned, Samson Dauda might not have the glutes, but look at that back development. This rear lat spread, nice, clean, neat lat insertions. But I don't know. I think Justin Rodriguez may end up with the Duke. Keep in mind how big and thick Justin Rodriguez is. What a horse. Go to the next of the two back shots. The second of the two. And, wow. Color me surprised here. Steve Kuclo, he morphs into the rear double bi much better than the rear lat. He has the lat insertions and everything. Clearly the better of the two back shots for Mr. Kuclo. Is he winning? Is he doing enough? Well, the other two guys are very impressive as well. Look at the hamstrings again for Samson rather. And Rodriguez, he has a dry package and he's so gosh darn huge. Go to the finals, and this is a tough one in this rear double bi, guys. I mean, Samson in many ways he's the winner. But I mean, you look at the hamstrings and the structure is so big, massive. But then in other ways, meat for meat, Justin Rodriguez, he's so thick, big as a house. And Steve Kuclo, very complete, and maybe the best conditioned, the most conditioned. Maybe Kuclo for the win, and maybe Justin for second. Close. Go to the abs and thigh. In which case, I may be giving this one to Steve Kuclo. He looks the driest. Now, Samson Dauda, he generally looks very aesthetically pleasing in this pose. I like this one. It's almost like a most muscular, though. So bring on a more form-fitting one here, a double arm overhead, and see that waistline of Samson Dauda. Fantastic. Maybe a bigger set of lats for Steve in this shot at least. I don't know. Very close between them two, with poor Justin Rodriguez. Maybe not his best shot. With all due respect, go to the finals. And Steve just seems to have more impact in the finals. It seems to me anyway. I mean, these are not the clearest shots in town, but you can definitely see the abs have improved from Steve Kuclo, rather. I apologize. From last year's Arnold's Classics to this year's Arnold, Steve has improved. Might not be quite as big, but he is definitely improved in the midsection and getting the abs and thigh, in my estimation. Finish this one off with the most muscular. What an interesting case, guys. These three dudes placed, right next to each other, third, fourth, and fifth, and they're headed into the same show. It's a chance for redemption for Justin Rodriguez. He placed last, so, hop, skip, and a jump, he can place first. Of course, I have Bonac, the clear winner at that show, and I have these three dudes battling it out for second place. And this is a situation where I sure am glad that I have a finals pitcher, because that pre-show Most Muscular could have honestly went either way. And in a lineup, you have to give a guy that looks like he could win a third place, and it sucks. Once again, guys, Steve brought it to the finals. And that's just it. So did Samson. Justin, maybe a little bit more difficult to do the 2-day show. And that's what makes bodybuilding so interesting. It makes it, an athletic competition and not just a modeling show. You can stand out there and take a picture of your best angle, things of that nature. This is a competition. And I often say at the end of the day, because bodybuilding, it's at the end of the show who looks good. I mean, if you can't even flex by the end of the show, it doesn't really matter how good you looked at the start. You got to have your endurance. Steve brought it. With all due respect, so did the other guys. I just think the 2-day show really favored Steve, more so than Justin Rodriguez and Samson Dauda. And I do, in fact, agree with the judges. I have him in first between these three, and Samson Dauda falls in second place. Very close between those two dudes. And hey, if I had to use just the pre-show, Justin Rodriguez definitely would have had a chance to at least come in second between these two guys. Maybe even win it. Who knows? And that's just it, guys. The Boston Pro. Coming up, the Boston Pro. Come on, hit some shots for me. It's a 1-day show. I'm safe to assume. The smaller shows are usually... Actually, the Arnold Classic is usually just a 1-day show. And Justin Rodriguez, he is used to that. You come in the morning or the afternoon, and then you come in for the night show. And who knows? It's still anybody's ball game between these three guys, even though I have Steve winning this matchup with Samson in a close second and Justin in third. But it could go either way, guys, at the Boston Pro. Look forward to it. I sure am. Hit thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.